Okay, so we're going to start recording now. If anyone has any objections, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Okay, so when I'm looking for, what I'm talking about too is called ETPL. Okay, so you guys will see ETPL. These are all the opportunities that we're looking at. ETPL, ETPL. Okay, ETPL stands for eligible training provider list. Okay, so before we offer our classes, we have to first get on the list of eligible training providers. Okay, and that is done at the state level. Okay, so let me take one that no one's working on. And so a colleague of mine said the ETPL list in Utah would be helpful. So Rohan, I'm going to have you start with the ETPL list with Utah, but I'm going to get this process started for us, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new opportunity here. And this opportunity is going to be called ETPL Utah. ETPL Utah, okay? And the account, this information I'll have to set up because I'll have to know what is the name of the agency that's going to give me my certification. And I don't know the answer to that yet, okay? Prospecting means that what stage of the process are we in? And we're typically going to be in the proposal stage, right? Qualification is probably more appropriate because right now we're trying to figure out how to do it. Once we figure out how to do it and what they want, then we're going to go into the proposal stage where we're actually giving them the information. And that's kind of really it. Here, it doesn't really matter too much. You can just put in 10,000 bucks or something like that. It's not as, I think I put in more. 100,000, that's fine. That doesn't matter quite as much. The winning percentage, that doesn't matter for you guys quite as much either. The closing date, usually it takes 4 to 6 weeks, but usually they'll tell us. But for our purposes, I'm just going to put basically 5 weeks from today. Okay. And this is all I know right now, but I do know that the people who are working on this will be part of my WIOA project team and my KP data team. And then we're going to change this name from KP data team to Star Navigator team.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay. Thank you. And then when I want you guys to do something, I will assign it to you, right? If I wanted Elvis to do this, I could assign this to Elvis. Okay, so Rohan, you will get your name assigned here as we get you all set up. Okay, when we get you going. Okay, but for now, I'll just leave it as my name. Okay, so now I'm going to save this opportunity. And now the information about this, I'm going to keep most of it in this area. Okay, so now it's set up and now I'm ready to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and now look for ETPL Utah. Okay, that's all I'm going to type. I'm going to say ETPL Utah, and I should get this training provider list. All right, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for how do I apply? Okay, how do I apply? And how do I get on the list? I'm looking for the application process. Okay, now, but just looking at this is something that I saw very quickly. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what is this? Let's make sure, I want to make sure everyone understands what this means. Don't all speak at once. Okay, we're looking at Utah, but what is this telling us?
If you're asking me, it's workforce innovation.
That says that, but what is it? Why am I bringing this to your attention? There must be a bigger reason why I'm telling everyone to
because
think
of
about
the link. Let me show you. Because of this.
Okay, not quite, almost. Almost. Anyone else got a guess? Rohan, this is your day. So what do you think? This is a tough question. This is a tough question for day one, though.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so
Elvis, you're the superstar. What's up? What do you think?
That's what we actually do. We specialize in providing training. So this is basically the keyword for companies that we actually need for us to be working with them.
Right. So that's not quite right. Okay. So remember, guys, I brought you guys here because we were looking for the application process for which state?
Oh, Utah.
Utah. That's right. For Utah. But what state is this information for?
Oh, yeah, it's for you, for yeah, Washington.
Is it?
The whole state, Washington, as a state level, and
Okay, but where would you look to know what, you would look where to figure out what state is giving you this information?
Hmm.
What about you, Rohan?
yeah,
There's 4 lines here, right? It's in one of the lines. So
and
this is
so
line
the one in
1,
yes,
line 2, line 3, line 4. Which line tells us which state this is about?
Oregon.
Right. Line 1.
line 3.
Line 1.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
So if you look in line 1 here, what state is this one about?
It's Utah.
Right. So this is the first thing. Okay. It's usually going to have a name. It's going to tell you right in the name. Look at this one. Line 1, Idaho. Okay. This is how you can quickly know. Okay. So we were looking for Utah, but I had you guys look here in Oregon. So why if we're dealing with Oregon, why if we're dealing with Utah, am I telling you there's something special about this one in Oregon? This part.
Yeah.
Reciprocal.
So this is the part that's really important. What does the reciprocal agreement mean?
They have an agreement of let's say services they can trade with each other between states.
So what does that mean for us? What does that mean for KP?
Um, well, we can.
This is
Do,
what this is what they're saying. Okay, so they're saying if you're Utah, Oregon, and Washington, maybe there's some other because we can't see, and we're gonna apply. Let's say we get on the list in Utah. What they're saying is when we get on the list, if we do this, that's just as good as being on the list in the other states.
Hmm.
Reciprocal. That means that this reciprocity. If you're in one state, you consider to be you can get in both states.
Mm-hmm.
So what I know immediately is that whichever one of these 3 I get in, then I will be able to get in all 3. So you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, well, which one is the easiest one to do? Because that's one I want to do, right? Maybe Oregon is a lot simpler than Utah, and then I should do the Oregon one, and then I can just ask Utah and Washington to add me on the list. Or maybe Washington is easier, right? So I will do the easiest one when I see something like that. Everybody understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So if I saw that, I would now read a little bit more about Oregon to find out, and I would confirm now if these other states think about it the same way. I would look to see Utah tell me that they have a reciprocal relationship. So let me just look now and see if there are other states. So, right. So, and basically there are 4 states that have the shared relationship. So when we do one, we should get on, we will get, so whoever does this one will end up getting us on all four providers, all four of these with one application. With one, we may have to take some other steps, but by getting on one of these, we'll get four, right? Including Utah, including Oregon. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So one of the things I was just spend a couple of minutes doing is figuring out which one looks the easiest. Which one is the least amount of work? All right, so we're here now. We're in Oregon. So what we're in Oregon now because we're trying to find out what is the process here. So we're looking for what? The application. And this is what it says: initial eligibility application. Bless you. But this is what we're looking for. Used to add new training programs to list. If you'd like to gather all required information, the application questions are available here. So this is going to tell us what's involved with it. Okay. Name of training provider. So quickly, I'm going to look and see how many questions there is. 4. Inter-training program. Question. It's the training, method of training, credentials. Okay, so there's 42 questions, right? And that's the process. So that seems pretty straightforward to me. Okay, so we can just kind of start in terms of answering some of these questions. All right, so the name of the training provider is Kinetic Potential. Okay, the ID number 27013934. Has your training organization previously completed this online application? No. All right, this is our first time doing it. Okay, now like say you didn't know some of these questions, then you just leave this as a blank. Okay. Now the other thing I should have said when we did, what I should have done, I'm saying I apologize. Let me go back and do this. When I got this information, clear. Okay, all drawings. Okay, when I got this information, I probably should have put this, whoops. Sorry, guys. I probably should have put this information into the database. When I created the opportunity, I should now make a note here so that everyone can see it at the description level so it doesn't go down. And what I want people to know is that, so if I come here, I want to know this right away. So if I'm working on this, whoever's working on this, we want to make sure we're leaving these notes for whoever, like you may not be the only one working on it. Rohan, you might start today, but we need it done and Elvis has to do it tomorrow. So you're not always just taking notes for yourself, you're taking notes for the team so that we can all be aware of what's going on. Now, when we see this, this helps us understand that we don't have to complete it in every state. We just have to choose one and then ask the other states to add us to the list, right? And we could say here, we decided to complete Oregon as it is the simplest application. So once this is complete and added, we will come back and excuse me, request Utah to add us to their list. You guys see how I'm doing that in terms of just the notification of the process? So as you're picking up things, learning, you got to document it so that we have it in our database.
Okay.
The other thing that is important here too is that, oops, sorry guys. The other thing that's important here too is that we started off with Utah. And so for Utah, we have to write down who is the account. So we have to create this account, Department of Workforce Services, right? That's what has to go. That's what information has to go here, right? Because we didn't put this in. So we have to make sure we get all the information so that we can track the customers. Okay, we can't just do the application without knowing who the customer is, who's the account. All right. So let me get back to this application. Whoops. Okay, so we did these. Has your training organization completed this application? We said no. Select the type of training provider. Okay. Okay, so we are a, let's see here, private career school. We are a private career school. That's how we fit. Okay, that's how we would fit this one. And what state is your organization located? Okay, we're based in Maryland. Okay, I'm going to clear this and go forward. If not located in Oregon, are you on your home state's eligible provider list? Yes, we are. Whoops. Right, we are on the Maryland provider list. So yes. So are we authorized? So, and the answer is no. And so, oh, number 6. I think this is probably, so this is going to number 6. So and when you get to something you're not sure about, you guys will probably leave this blank or put in a placeholder. And then highlight in that need answer. Okay, some things you guys are not going to know how to answer, and but you want to keep going, put as much in as possible, and then say, number 9, I need someone to review and answer that. Okay, because before you guys submit them, I will look at them to make sure that they're complete and accurate. Okay, so until we get a good process down, everyone's educated and they can do them. Until then, I will be involved with that. Okay, number 10. Has your company been accredited by training by an outside accreditation agency? And then we'll say yes. And then we will put this in. You leave this blank. You may have to put, Jim, please answer something so that you can go on to the next field, but know that you should then take a note. Hey, I need this answer. And you would do that right here. Okay, you guys are going to do that right here on the ticket, right? In this section, in the stream section. Hey, I need to answer to number 10. I need to answer to number 6. So this is where we're tracking the application process. So that's how you guys will do that. Okay. Are we disbarred? Okay, disbarred means that you're not supposed to be working, and the answer is no. Okay, let me go on to the next one. Are you able to provide training services that are physically and programmatically accessible for individuals who are facing barriers? The answer is yes. Okay, now they may ask this question a different way, but if you're not sure, just make sure you write down, I wasn't 100% sure. So if you're guessing you're not 100% sure, it's very important that you highlight, I need you to give us the answer to this question. Okay, and then I think we can create this like as a frequently asked question, like Define. This is an example of something that should be like the frequently asked question in our knowledge management, so everyone knows how to answer these questions. Okay, so I think today, Define, we'll have to take this video and then make it into something that everyone can get the answers to, right? That in the knowledge management section. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Does your organization comply with non-discrimination? Of course we do. Does your organization have written and published refund policy? Yes, of course we do. Okay, let's go forward. And guys, I'm not going to be able to finish this in its entirely because I have another meeting in about 5 minutes. But what I'll do is I will go through and then answer these. And then Rohan, then you will go through and actually do it, right? So you'll basically take this video and then you'll go and this will be your first one, basically taking what you see me do and then answer them so you can just get some practice with that, okay? And then Rohan, what I want you to do is I want you to then learn for the other states that have the reciprocal arrangement. I want you to research and find out once we get on the list, how do we get added to the other list?
Okay.
Right? So if we don't have to complete the application for all of them, then what will we need to do? So once we get on one, so we can get on the others.
Okay.
All right.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll finish these last three and then I've got to go to another meeting. Okay, does your organization have a written and published grievance policy of how they file complaints? The answer is yes, we do. Provider address, okay, physical address. So this we're going to use an Oregon address for. Okay, so we have a partner. We work with the Marriott hotels, and the Marriott hotels, when we need a physical address, then we will use that Marriott address. Meaning that if we were to deliver our training in Oregon, we would go to the hotel and have people come to the hotel, okay? So I'll have to talk a little bit more about how this process is done, okay? But this one, for our mailing address, we want the mail to come to our Maryland office, which is 1801 McCormick, it's a C, Drive, and that's in Suite 350. And it's in Largo, Maryland, and the zip is 20774. Okay, let me clear all that. Okay, primary contact, that's generally me. And my name, for those of you guys who don't know me or who may be watching this video for the first time, I am Jim Smith. And I am the CEO. And my number is this, 301-883-8256. We don't have a fax. And we really want this to be defined. This should be a group email, right? Because everything can't come to me.
Right.
But for now, until we give you something else, you guys can just put my email in there. JimSmith@kpscholars.com. Okay. But we're going to change this, I think, effective today. Okay. So define, put that on our list to create a group email for this.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like WIO or something like that. Okay. So select the local workforce board where training can occur. This is an important one. Okay. Because this will also tell us where the Marriott, where we want to, this will also tell us where we want to place our location. So we want to have, certainly if they have an option for online training available statewide, then we certainly would check that. but we also want to find to be able to go to any of these locations and offer training, right? Because if we're going to go to the local hotel, I'm sure they all have a local hotel. Okay. Now I'm comparing this to what Elvis was doing earlier. Elvis in Maryland, there are 12 local workforce boards, right? Local workforce boards. But here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9.
Okay.
Right? And we would need the same activity to be done for these guys so that we have all the names and we can contact them. Because once we apply to begin working with them, we want to begin our communication efforts with them as well. Right?
Yes.
And then our website is kpconnect.com. Right? That's the site that we're optimizing for this. Okay, guys, I'm running a little bit late, so that's half of this. But I think if I go through and just walk through the final steps, you guys will you'll get the hang of how this goes, and then we can quickly add more states so we can cover the whole U.S. Our goal is to cover the whole U.S. with this, and I'd like to have this done in the next 2 weeks. So between Elvis, what you're doing and adding the people and then doing the applications, these two things will help us get our full coverage across the U.S. Okay?
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm sorry I don't have time for questions, but Rohan, Depian will be in contact with you to give you the kind of the next steps from here. Just remember, this is always, we meet this time every Monday. Okay? So this is when we kind of hand out the work, make sure we know what's going on. Certainly, we probably will talk to you guys during the week. All right. Depian, where are we going? Where's the other meeting at? Is it
in your calendar? Yeah, in your calendar.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I got to run. Take care.
Thank you so much. See you soon.